declined it. I did everything that I always did with fear, and I just declined it. I ignored it. I thought, how am I going to go on the road being pregnant? Who wants to sign somebody being pregnant? How do I even do that? How do I nurture a singing career when I'm trying to raise a child? So I didn't send in a demo. I didn't do it. I lost that opportunity. And then when I was working in radio was super fun. That was a lot of fun. And we often entertained a lot of artists. I met tons and tons of artists, and I am not starstruck. That's just not me. So we would entertain artists like Destiny's Child, Linkin Park, Britney Spears, like so many of them. And part of being in radio was to accommodate artists in nightclubs, and they were starting out and they would be, singing for the crowd or whatnot. And I was in Oakville, and there was a little group that was starting to become known called NSYNC. And there I am with the DJs and hanging out, and this curly-haired blonde boy walked up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Justin. And I would like to take you out for dinner." And I was like, okay, no. Because fear crept in again. By the way, my husband's here. Hi, I love you. He is not Justin Timberlake. And fear really came in. And I was like, I work for the radio station. Is this even allowed? What is the policy on this? You know what? No, I can't do this, because I let fear take control of what my actions were. And so I politely declined. And when he tried to rebut, I said, "Listen, you better get away from me before I call security." And I was like, now when I think about that, I was like, you're very ballsy. So that was a little bit of an opportunity. Like, I would have still married you, honestly. So fear of the unknown. I want to go back to a couple of years later. My firstborn child is 2 years old, and I'm coming off a modeling career, and I thought, I'll do some acting. Acting is the next best stage, right? So I decided to apply for an audition for a role in a spin-off show. And this spin-off show was Degrassi, The Next Generation. And I thought, yeah, sure, why not? And I got a call back, or I shouldn't say a call back. I got an audition date. And when I received the audition date, I thought, really? How am I going to do this? Am I ready for this? What do I even do at the audition? What if they don't like me? What if they do like me? And I did what I always did best, and I didn't reply. I didn't go to it. I missed the opportunity because fear was running my life. So one day I woke up and I thought, you know what? Not today, fear. I'm busy living. And so I eventually stopped chasing my dreams. All those dreams that created the butterflies in my stomach, I stopped chasing. Because fear always had a whispering voice in my ear. Everything that was exciting to me, I stopped. Everything that was driving force to my success, I stopped. And anything that fueled my passion, I let fear tell me no. And then I realized that all of these self-imposed limitations dictated by fear was just holding me back. Everything was just holding me back. So I decided to break up with fear. And I kicked her to the curb. And when I did that, I went full force. And now I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a 5-time published author. I'm a wildly successful blogger. I'm an influencer, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, and I'm an actor. But tonight, I am not acting. This is not scripted, kind of scripted, but it's not memorized. And I realized once I broke up with fear, and once I looked fear in her cold, dead eyes, I realized she's not really that scary after all. So once fear was gone, once those whispering excuses that had no more voice for me to listen to, once all of that was gone, I was really able to start to live. I was able to go after everything that I have accomplished so far. And I think I've accomplished so much, right? So I started to use fear as a tool. And instead of thinking of all the what ifs, I challenged them into why nots. So fear started losing her battle real quick. I started to walk into my book signings with my head high and full of confidence. I ended up being published in some major magazines as a role model, something I never really thought would happen. I was featured on television talk shows, and I even landed acting roles on TV series. And recently, as Fiona mentioned, I launched my own online course. So when I realized that fear was holding me hostage, I knew it was time to escape. I was miserable. I realized fear really wasn't my best friend. Fear didn't validate me in any which way. Fear only nurtured all of my excuses and held me back. Fear told me I wasn't that wild child that can go on random dates with upcoming music artists. Fear told me I was not good enough to sing or to even act. Fear told me I was a mom now, and all of my happiness didn't matter. The only happiness that mattered was the happiness of my children. But I knew there was a world out there of happiness, excitement. It was full of promise and opportunity. So I knew I had to change my perspective on fear alone. I knew I needed to gain new clarity on what fear actually was. And with this new clarity, I learned to embrace the opportunities that came to me. I learned to say, yes, Fiona, I am going to come tonight and I am going to speak in front of, a house full of strangers. Every invitation that comes my way, I now look at as a spectacular journey. It is a journey full of promise and excitement. Now I embrace all of my unknowns. I believe in myself again. I can dream again. I can teach my children to dream and go after their wildest opportunities, even if it's with a rock star. I give myself permission to feel excited about all of the new opportunities that come my way. But does fear try to stop me still? Absolutely. And do I doubt myself sometimes? Absolutely. But do I let fear hold me back? Absolutely not. So when you guys leave here tonight, I want you to ask yourself, does fear hold you back from anything? And if it does, I want you to challenge fear. What I want you to do is I want you to write down anything that fear is holding you back from. And then I want you to rewrite those same things into why nots and challenge the fear back. So remember, we are only capable of what we allow ourselves to be capable of. And remember that. We are worth everything we feel we're worth. Go after it with full vigor, and never, ever stop. Thank you. I'm Joanne Vivolo, and I'm so happy you guys came out tonight.